to another show. Don't get this twisted. I am Rob, along with my co-host as always, Tina. How you doing, Tina?
I'm good, Rob. How you doing?
I'm okay. I'm not eating pumpkin seeds.
I stopped eating pumpkin seeds as soon as I saw the timer go.
I know you did, but I am hungry. And for those who don't, we always know that we record a couple of days before Wednesday. And it's Monday, and it's hot as all hell here in Southern California.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
And just taking out the trash, you bust a sweat.
And the funny thing is it's turned so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is it's going to turn again quickly by the weekend on Saturday, which is my birthday. And since we're going to talk about birthdays,
Happy birthday.
It's going to be 78 degrees where I live. Stop
it. It's going down that low?
At least here. I don't know about where you are, but yeah.
Oh, I'm sure
it's going to go. Yeah, it's going to. So it's 90 today, 93, 93, 94 Wednesday, 88, 84 on Friday, and then 78 on Saturday. And then 80, 82. So it's going to be like in the 80s. At least we're going to get away from the 100-degree weather. So
I was thinking that we were going to be in the pool starting tomorrow because it's staying hotter at night. So
it's still hot, though. Like, to be fair, like it's not going to be, at least where I live, it's at night. It's not going to get below 65.
Yeah.
So, it's nice enough that you can sleep with the window open.
Yeah, you barely need a sweater, if anything.
Yeah. And I would say, if you are, it's so hard to keep the house cool at night. You're going to sleep with a fan. It's going to be warm. So summer's here, with the exception of Sunday. It says 59 degrees at night. So, I mean, it looks like it's going to be nice here in Southern California, where, let's go across the country where I have some of these other things on my app. Vegas was 107 right now. It's 107 right now at 6:00 at night.
And El Paso's 103 right now.
Yeah. So but the same thing. It looks like the trend is going down. Where I used to live in Camarillo, it's really nice. Like Friday, Saturday, it's going to be 77 degrees. I was there over the weekend, actually, taking some pictures of my old roommate. So,
and we didn't go to Chi-Chi's.
I didn't want to get caught up in any of the nonsense that was going on in this country on Saturday. So I did my best to say, because she was going to take me. There's a really good pizza place out in Camarillo and in Valencia. If you've ever out there, it's called Toppers.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing pizza. Super good. And I was going to go get Toppers with her. And I was like, look, I need to get home. I don't want to get caught up in any nonsense. And if people decide they wanted to be crazy and get on the freeway and stop it or whatever the hell. So I wanted to get home and chill. So
yeah, I was seeing on the news that there was different freeways that were not far from where I live, and people were just acting like fools up on the freeway, stopping traffic, throwing bricks, doing all that sort of jazz. Yeah. And I went out and I kind of went that way towards that. And it was a little bit scary, but I didn't see anything, thankfully. But I knew that I could run into these problems because of the news and everything that's been on. It's like, it's kind of hard not to hear about it. But yeah, luckily I didn't get into any of those situations.
Right. That's kind of why I came home. So Chi-Chi's we'll definitely hit Chi-Chi's. We need to.
We need to. We haven't had our podcast meeting in ages.
That's very true. We should probably sit down and go over some things and write down what we're going to talk about.
Yes.
We should do that. We'll talk off air because I do have some time coming up for my birthday weekend.
You do?
I do. So maybe Friday. We'll see.
Okay.
Speaking of birthdays, since my birthday is coming up, I thought we'd talk about, as we get older, at least for me, and I will tell you that this isn't new for me, but like, I don't really care about birthdays. Here's the thing. I like them for other people. I don't care about them for me. I think they're like, I spent my 40th birthday by myself in Vegas in a brand new apartment when I lived there.
Yeah.
I didn't know a lot of people. So I didn't leave the house. I just, on my 40th, sat down and hung out. That's all I did. My
That's crazy.
50th, I will tell you, my 50th was interesting. Oh no, my 50th was here. Yeah, was where I live, and I hung out by myself again.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, my son was with me, but I didn't do anything special. I did have one really good birthday when I lived in Camarillo, though. It was me. I have a picture somewhere. I'll have to find out what year it was. At that time, I was taking pictures of a lot of girls,
Mm-hmm.
and it was me and like 5 girls and my roommate, and that was it. And we made margaritas and got drunk. It was a really fun birthday, but generally, I don't care. Um, we're getting old, and it's not like the old days where you could, a lot of people would hang out with you and you'd get tons of presents and that kind of thing. So I think as you get older, they just become a little less important, unless it's like a centennial type birthday, like a 50th. I think your 50th should mean something. I know one of my friends just had their 50th. I think they had a surprise birthday party. I don't know. Um, but like that one means something. I did say happy birthday to them on that day. Because I think 50 does kind of mean something. It's kind of that, quote unquote midlife, even though we've talked about that a million times on here. That's not our midlife
It's not
anymore.
midlife. Yeah.
No, our midlife is 35. And, my 30th birthday, I had a surprise birthday party because I was married at the time. I actually just walked into the house and there was a bunch of people there.
That's cool.
Yeah. But again, it's like one of those things where like I would hate to be blindsided now.
Really?
Just because I like to know what's going on. I would, if I walked into a place, I'd be like, oh fuck, like great. And I know that's probably shitty to say, but I just think that I'm at a point in my life where it's like, I would rather know we're going to go do something like, hey, we're going to go to this restaurant and we're going to go to Chi-Chi's and a bunch of people are going to meet there and we're going to have like a get together. Awesome. Because in my head, I can get ready for it. And it's not that I'm pretty much an extrovert. I like going out and I can talk, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I just like to know where my atmosphere is and who's going to be around. And I just think that as I get older, I just want to know what's going on. So birthdays are a little less important. Like this weekend, not that it's a big birthday. Next year will probably be a bigger one. We'll be 55. We'll be seniors. We can go get discounts now. Hey, I'm okay with that. I was funny. I was talking to somebody at work about that. I'm going to use it for fucking everything. I'm calling the power company. I'm calling everyone that I can get a senior discount on. And I'm using that shit. And I'm going to drop it every time I go into a restaurant. I'm a senior because we don't look, 55-year-olds aren't going to look the same. I have full sleeve tattoos and I don't have a lot of gray hair. I'm going to use that shit. I'm going to pull up my ID every time. Discount. Give me that shit. Give me 10%. Whatever the discount is, I'm taking it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that might mean something. So 54 this weekend, I think what I'm going to do is my son's girlfriend, as her birthday is on the 27th of June. And I think I'll try to throw something together and do that. We were talking about, is there Stater Brothers in the Valley or no? Mm-hmm. Are they just out here?
Just out there.
Okay. So we have Stater Brothers fucking everywhere around here. They're everywhere. Mm. And me and the boy were over there one day and we're walking through, we're going to have steak and big, huge baked potatoes. And if you're ever out this way, Stater Brothers is awesome. They have really good meat department. So we went and got some steaks and we got some baked potatoes and we're walking by and they have fresh bacon.
Mm.
Yeah. So you can buy bacon by the strip or by the pound or whatever you want.
Seriously.
And yeah, it's awesome. It's super awesome. So like, let's say you don't want to buy a whole pound of bacon for breakfast. You can go and buy 5 strips.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's really cool. So we bought some honey apple bacon and we ended up putting it on our potatoes, which was really good. Mm. Yeah, it was really, really good. But they also have a pepper bacon there. And it's like, and I mean, when I mean peppery, they put a lot of pepper on it. So I was telling the boy, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go buy a bunch of hamburger and then we're going to buy a bunch of that pepper bacon and I'm going to chop it in half and make it really small and mix it into the meat. And then with the other half of the bacon, we'll fry we'll fry it flat, and then we'll put it on our burgers with like, and then we have a Carl's Jr. not too far from here. So I'm thinking get some onion rings and make our own like Western bacon burger things. And, we'll do that or
there
something.
You go.
Yeah. Something kind of, because barbecue is good. It's easy. You can go and cook burgers in a few minutes. Maybe get some pretzel buns.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, they have those at the Walmart market. If you're down for that, I really like pretzel buns. They're really good.
I like pretzels.
I love pretzels. And soft pretzels are the best.
Mm-hmm.
If you've ever been to, it's funny because his girlfriend lives up north, and I guess they don't have Wiener Schnitzels up there.
Really?
It's a Southern California thing. I had no idea. So when she comes down, we'll go to Wiener Schnitzel because she's like, oh yeah, that was really good the time we went. So I told her that, and they also have pretzel buns there. So if you get a mustard dog on a pretzel bun, it's amazing. It's so good. There's something about, because I love mustard and pretzels. So if you just throw a hot dog in there, it's money.
What's not to love, right?
Yeah. It's like, it's a kiss from heaven. It's so good.
That's
so,
funny.
Yeah. So, and they also have pretzel bun, hot dog buns at the Walmart market as well. So if you want to throw some wieners on the barbecue and throw them in a pretzel bun, you can make stuff at home. It's pretty money.
There you go.
But I think that, look, birthdays should mean something to, younger people. I love kids' birthday parties because they're so innocent and it's so fun to watch them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, look, for your parties are always great because you throw down, you have a DJ and it's a crazy time at your house.
My friends like to dance and they like to act up and everybody gets along. So
matter of fact, I think it was a birthday party that right before we started this podcast.
When I turned 50 and a half, because COVID was still
that's right
going on at 50
and a half.
So I was like, I'm throwing myself because 50 was hard because I wasn't, we couldn't do anything. And
that's
so
right.
50 and a half was when I did it. And
that's so right. I remember.
Yeah. And that's when we launched the podcast.
Yeah. I think we had already recorded a few and had it ready to go. And I think I dropped them either right before your 50th and a half or right after it. But yeah. And that was your parties are, see, since I live farther away from you, I can't go and drink at your parties.
Yeah.
Because I'll get a DUI on the way home.
Well, and you just stay.
I think, yeah. But staying at your house can be dangerous too. Cause there's 25 people on the couch. Everyone stays there. It's just it's like an old sleepover. When you were 12, you know what I mean?
We've been doing that since we were 14, 15 years old.
That's what I mean.
Acting like fools.
So your birthday parties are 12-year-old slumber parties.
When I was single, I remember having a party here. I don't know how old I was, but it was before I was 30 for sure. And I woke up and there was 4 other people sleeping on my bed with me. And I thought I went to bed alone, but everybody just crashed. We were 3 side by side, and then there was 2 people trying to lay opposite way at our feet, and it was cramped, and I kept getting hit.
That's bonkers to me.
But it was fun.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you, that was an adventure party. I hadn't been to one of your birthdays in quite a while.
Probably since I was 16.
No, I think I did something in your 20s.
Did you?
Yeah, maybe 21.
Maybe.
Yeah, because those were a couple of those, and they were always bombers. You knew you were, and there was always a DJ. There's always that's one thing. There's always music at your birthday parties.
Music, food.
Yeah, the food's always good because there's always tasty pizza here at your places.
Everybody brings food. It's
great. There's always good food. That's 100%. There's always a mixture of food.
Yeah.
It's not like go to Tina's house and you're going to get Mexican food. No, there's like Mexican and barbecue and hot dog. There's like everything. You walk in, and you're like, oh yeah, a little this, a little that. The plates at your house are like, they remind me of like old school neighborhood barbecues where like everyone just brings some shit over. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
But so like in your case, do you still enjoy having a birthday party or a
Absolutely. I
birthday?
think that it's important to celebrate the fact that you made it because, you know, my mom only lived to be 59. So any time you get a birthday, I'm thinking, well, that's a good thing, you know? And it's good to celebrate with people that you love and want to be around and people that make you laugh. And so for me, birthdays are really kind of a cool time to not force everybody to get together, but give everybody a reason to show up.
Right. I do believe in that. I think that is a good thing.
Yeah.
Like, cause I remember I went to a couple of your, what were those called? Well, the game that you played, you had people over your house.
Bunko
games.
Yeah.
Bunko games. Again, now I will tell you that bunko games are an interesting thing to go to when there's like only 2 males there.
Yeah. Well, it's normally we do it where it has to be 12 people playing. And normally it's just all women. We try to get all women, but you were single at the time. I thought, Rob would be great to go and do this. And then my brother.
A good old time. Like,
oh, yeah.
Well, like I've said on this podcast many times, like women are the dirtiest, most vile, you know, and if
Honest.
sailor mouth on the planet, like women together say shit that like would make a grown man blush. And I know because
my friends are really outgoing and they don't care what they're saying. And they love the shock value to some degree. So there's nothing they won't say. But I encourage that. I do like to hear what they've really got in their heads going on. So
well, and I think that's why like your birthday parties are always go-getters. There's always something going on. And look, I appreciate celebrating age. And you're right. I think we should all do that more now than ever. Because like, it is kind of cool that we've made it this far. I'm not dead yet.
Yeah.
And that's a plus. Hey, we made it. I'm just not one of those people that are just like, I don't have to do anything. Like I said, Saturday, if I don't do anything, it's not gonna like kill me. I'm not gonna be like, nah, I'll just be like, it's just another day. I'm older. Awesome. I do think that, I'm sure that if I was not single, I would probably at least do a little, do something more.
Go out to dinner.
Yeah. And I'll probably, like I said, I'll probably do that anyway. Although it's funny because we did Father's Day on Sunday and I love my son unconditionally and he's amazing. That being said, I paid for the movie. I paid for lunch. Like it's one of those things where you're like, oh, it would be nice if for one day I got something. Because I feel like, look, and I like providing, and I'm glad that I've never not had my kid and I take care of him. But it is one of those things where you're like, oh yeah, I still do everything. And it sooner or later it would be nice to like, oh hey, I'm gonna take you out to dinner today, or I'm gonna take you for lunch and I'm gonna treat. And it was kind of sucky. I was just like, another Father's Day. It's like, But I also looked at it to the degree of like, as we get older, you realize that like, at least from a dad's standpoint or a man's standpoint, I didn't see shit on the side of the road for men. There was no teddy bears or roses or anything. It's just like, nah. And you could go into any restaurant in my neighborhood and walk right in for Father's Day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, like for me, we haven't had a kitchen. So the guy that's doing the work said, hey, teen, you're going to have a stove and the countertop and a sink. So if when you do Father's Day, you could actually do whatever you want to, cook whenever you want to or whatever. So I was like, what? Because it's been a year now. So I was like,
right.
I could cook. I could Well, the sink didn't work out because there was some issue with it. No big deal. It was
Right.
in, everything was ready, to go and be hooked up, but
Mm-hmm.
there was an issue. So we had to stop that. But the stove worked. And
Okay.
so I told everybody, I was like, do you guys want we call them pililis, it's fry bread, native fried bread. And everybody in my family says yes. And they never seem to get it enough according to them. So I said, okay, that's what we'll do for Father's Day. So I was able to make brunch, and we had fruit and we had pililis and all the fixings that you would put on a tostada. They were all, they were all on there, and it was good. It was a fun day. We had everybody out. We don't have a floor yet. It's still, cement, but
Right.
nobody seemed to care. And my cousin got to roll in right next to me. She's in a wheelchair now. So she was right by the stove, and I could give her food and just hang out with her and talk. And, my ex came over, which is also funny that, I told him, hey, are you going to be in town for Father's Day? And he said, yeah. And I said, well, then come on over and have, fried bread with us. So he showed up, and it was nice.
Nice.
It's weird that, that I still am friendly with my ex because it's not normal, but
Mm-hmm.
it's when we're together, it's very kind. It's good. So, everybody showed up, and we all sat down, and we had our food, and we joked, and we talked. And then my cousin and I were basket weaving, and it was just an easy breezy day. And Dad was happy. He got fry bread, and he had his family over, and that's really what he wants anyway.
Right.
So I appreciated it.
And look, I think celebrating things is important. I
Yeah.
really do. I just think that you have to know your audience, right?
Yeah.
So like someone like me who isn't like, I really don't care. And I know that sounds shitty, but I don't. It's just like,
It's
I
okay for you
shouldn't
to
say,
not share, but it's not okay for everybody else to not care. I mean, not when I
right.
said that to you,
Right.
not care.
And I
Yeah.
don't want to say that I don't care. It's just like, it is what it is. If it happens, cool. If it doesn't, it's not gonna kill me. And like that, I could change in 2 years, and I might be like super depressed that no one cares. But we all change as we go.
Mhm.
But I just think that I've done it. I've been by myself for so long. Like legitimately, my son is 22. He was 6. So I haven't really been in a serious relationship in that long. And even when I was dating people, I think that during those time periods of me dating certain people, I don't think I had a birthday. I might have had Christmas, or I might have had something in between there, which I celebrated with everybody, which is awesome.
Mhm.
But I don't think that I've ever had a birthday during those things. So maybe that will change. Maybe if I'm with somebody, or things are changing and I have a birthday, I might, decide that it is different. So, I talk out of the back of my neck,
Mhm.
but I think that it is still important to celebrate those things in your life. Like I said, I will celebrate on Saturday, even if it's just me and my boy and his girlfriend. We'll do
Mhm.
something. But it's not one of those things where, my mom was very big on calling me, and it's very bizarre to not
That
get,
she doesn't. Yeah.
yeah, that I don't get that call anymore. And look, my dad and my stepmom call me, but they call me for everything. Like they'll call me they'll call me for Easter and be like, hey, happy Easter. It's like, okay, where my mom would probably do it only because she was with my brother, at the
Mm.
time. Like, it wasn't certain things. My mom would call me out of nowhere too, just
Yeah.
to say, hey. But it is very bizarre that those certain things are weird to me, that because she was top notch on my birthday, no matter what.
Hmm.
And it's funny because people who have listened to this, and I don't know if I brought it up in a long time, there's only 2 people that called me Robbie ever. And my mom was one, and then you. And I tried to get you to fucking stop, but
I don't
you
like to not
refused.
call you Robbie.
No, I understand that, but I tried, and then you kind of said no, and I just gave up. I was like, okay, and you just
You didn't even put up a fight.
I mean, I was like, no, I didn't, because I knew that it wasn't worth it.
Well,
It
I
would have
know a
been
lot
like,
of other Robs also, and you stand out because you're Robbie. So even if I say, "Hey, Teddy, I saw Robbie today," he'd be like,
yeah,
"Oh, how's he doing?"
right.
He
He
knew
knows, right.
exactly who it is. Yeah.
And to be fair, you've been doing this since 11th grade. It's not like
Yeah.
you just
Since you
started
didn't
calling
want
me.
to talk to me.
Right. It's not like you called me Robbie like 5 years ago.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, this is a long period of time. And
Yeah.
like I said, I kind of did just give up on it. I was like, okay, she's going to do it and I'll just let it go. But it is weird to me, like, now, to not hear that. And the other thing that was funny about, like, my mom, obviously she was getting older, and as you get older, you forget shit, or you just say, my mom would always call me by my brother's name
Mm.
all the time. And then I would always have to say, Rob. She'd go, "Oh, how you doing, Ma?" And I go, "It's Rob." And she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, Rob. Yeah, I know. And it's because my brother lived down the street, like not
Mhm.
too far from her. So she would always talk to my sister-in-law. And I'm sure probably said my brother's name 18 million times a day.
Mhm.
So anytime that she would call me, it would just slip through and I would giggle. I always thought it was kind of funny. And then I would tell my dad, I would talk to my dad later on. And I'm like, oh, Mom keeps calling me, and he goes, yeah, it's because, she talks to your brother all the time. I'm like, yeah, I know. So, so those are like, I mean, and maybe that's like another thing about my birthday. It's like things are changing so much in life where your birthday just seems like another day. Well,
Mhm.
and to tell you the truth, Christmas as well. Like, thankfully, this past Christmas, I got to spend time with my friend, and she has grandkids, and I got to and I went there for like holiday, and I gave them gifts, and she gave them their gifts as well. We kind of got to hang out, and that was really good for me because, like, it's not the same when you have a 22-year-old giving them gifts. Like, he knows what he's getting. He's getting cash most of the time, or I buy his present months before because he wants something. Like, oh, I
Mhm.
really want this and I want to get it now. Okay, I'll buy it for you now. So it was fun to be around small children again who gave a shit about Santa coming. So I think
Yeah.
that those are things that I really like, where you get to spend time with people who enjoy the celebration. That's why I like going to your birthday party is great. And where and like I said, we'll do something for my birthday. Maybe on Friday I'll come down. Well, come across, come over. I don't know what. I guess it's unilateral where we live, right? it's it's
Mhm.
kind of it's kind of east west. I'll come west to you.
You
Um,
can.
and we'll do Chi-Chi's or something just so I can feel like I had a birthday celebration. But um, it's just one of those things where I think that it's important to celebrate. I don't want to sound like I'm like Scroogey about it and that I don't want to do it. I just think as you get older in life, they just become less important because shit, I'll be lucky if I, make it another 10 years, I shouldn't say that, but
Don't
you know,
say that.
but I just think that we are at a time where you have to start thinking like, eh, I'm okay. I made it around the sun one more year. That's awesome. But like, you know, I don't want to. I also think that like I hate being a burden on people. And so actually, you know what? Last year on my birthday, I'll say this as I wanted to spend some time with a friend of mine, and I had never had a chance to celebrate or be around her on my birthday, and I could do it this past year, and it was awesome because all I asked for is dinner, and she likes to cook, so I was like, all I want for my birthday is make me dinner. And all I want to do is do it at your house. So I went to her house, sat down, had dinner cooked for me. It was super awesome. And probably one of the better birthdays I've had in a while because it was something that I wanted. And it
Mhm.
wasn't even materialistic. It was food. I actually brought food home. It was super awesome. And I think that those are the things that we need to celebrate more often is good special moments with people, with all the people. Like I haven't seen my best friend in like a long time.
You need to fix that.
Yeah, and he doesn't live very far from me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like an hour and 10 minutes away. But, life gets in the way with that. He's married. He also travels a lot for work. So
Mm-hmm.
pinning him down for a weekend sometimes is difficult because he's like, oh, I have to fly out to this place. And I heard he just talked to me and he said his job got moved to the Philippines.
What?
Yeah. So, yeah, he works for a phone company. So now he's like, oh, yeah, I forgot what month. He's like, yeah, I have to fly out to the Philippines for like 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. And because of now that his job has changed, I think he works at night,
Mm.
which is going to be interesting to see what that does to his marriage. Because, when you work the same schedule, you have a similar life. When your mate is going to sleep and you're getting up and going to the office down the
Mm-hmm.
hallway, I wonder if that's what it's gonna do to him. But yeah, I haven't seen him in a while, and it's important. So I have to kind of say, hey, dude, when's your next weekend open, and I'll make it work
Yeah.
and go down and see him. Because look, we birthdays, celebrations, holidays, whatever it is you want to, whatever this podcast ends up being, we're aging. And I think that a small 1 day thing, even if it's not a holiday or your birthday, needs to be more celebrated than anything,
Mm-hmm.
time with people. Cause it's hard. Like we don't see each other, but we see each other every week.
Yeah, we
You know
talk
what I
to each
mean?
other and
Yeah.
stuff.
So we can catch up and if people heard what we talk about before we come on here, it could be a podcast because it's like generally either things that are going on that maybe we don't want to talk about yet or personal shit that's like we could share but could get us in trouble, or we could share and we might piss somebody off, or whatever it is. So we're lucky that we can like toss the tennis ball back to each other every week and go, okay, blah 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 blah, and this is what's going on. And then of course we get together every blue moon and eat and bullshit even more then. But I think it's important, and whether it's a party or if it's just a small get together, because those are so few and far between with some people because we can't do them because life hits us,
That's true.
and
I I don't know though. I really do make an effort to go see people that I want to see. So I'm always going to see somebody or spending time with
Mhm.
somebody or having them over. I can't wait till the house is done where people could come over again because it will happen.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah,
Especially summer with the
and
pool.
you have a very nice format now. How the you took the wall out, and
Yeah.
like it's going to be a very much more open um way of looking at your house. Because
Hmm.
people who don't have never been over there, it used to be you used to have that very smaller doorway to go into the kitchen, which is now
Gone.
gone. So
The whole
it's
wall is gone.
yeah,
So
the
now
whole
it's
wall's
one
gone.
big room.
Yeah, which is I think going to make for much better um um entertaining. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Where like everyone can really kind of be in one room, literally,
Hmm.
and goes out to the slider that's right there. So
Yeah.
everything will be this one big, large area. It'll be really nice, actually. It'll be kind of cool to see.
It's getting there.
It's getting there. But I mean, look, I don't want to be the damper of like celebrations. I'm definitely not that person, but I just think that for me, because everyone's like, "What are you doing on your birthday? What are you doing on your birthday? What are you doing on your birthday?" And I'm like, "Nah,
You've
nothing."
always been like this though.
Hmm.
Always. I mean, even at 16, you were.
Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of celebrating me. I love
Yeah.
going to things and doing things. It's just and maybe that's just me. I don't like getting gifts, which I've been working on over the last, year and a half. I've been
Hmm.
trying to be better at that. It's just not who I am. And I'm a gift giver. I like to do things. I like to be around people and I love to give gifts. I'm good at it. And I usually do things that are out of the norm. Like,
Mhm.
you can ask some people that I've given gifts to around me, and they're generally very personal gifts. Like, I usually put people's names on things, or I, like my best friend, I gave a wrestling belt to
Right.
because it's something from our past and I knew that he would like it, and it meant something. And I made some things for another friend of like, there's names on things or things that mean something.
You
Um,
personalize
I
everything.
personalize things because I want them to know that, it I thought out the gift,
Mhm.
and I think that that's, to me, that means more, and I'm just good at it. So I'm this Saturday I'm going to do my best to kind of celebrate with, the people that are in my house right now. My son, his girlfriend's coming down, and like I said, it's going to be her birthday, and I'll probably try to make it into her birthday because that's just who I
Mhm.
am. Like, we'll end up doing something. I was made a joke to my friend at work. Since it's my birthday and her birthday, I'm gonna throw my son under the bus and be like, "Hey, you're gonna take us out to dinner, right?"
You should
I'm
come
gonna
to Chi-Chi's. I'll meet up with you guys.
I'm gonna say us. I'm gonna say you're gonna take us out, right? Your girlfriend and me. It's our birthday. You're gonna take us out, and I'm sure he'll find a way out of it because it's gonna cost him a fortune. But I at least want to put him under the, over the grill,
I
and kind
get
of
you.
and kind of
It's mean.
kind of get a little something something on him. Mostly after Father's Day, because I was like, Father's Day is when you're supposed to do it. Like,
Yes.
you know. But I think going forward, all of us need to celebrate whatever day it is that you find important. If it's your birthday, good, cool. And maybe I just need to open up a little bit better.
I think it's more than just celebrating. It's spending time with people that you want to be around, and it's putting yourself in a situation where you could have the maximum amount of fun.
Hmm. Yeah. And like I said, maybe that's why I enjoyed my last birthday so much, because I got to spend it with somebody doing something that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You,
And
yeah,
it
I
was good.
totally get that. You want to be around people that you love or that are there for you. Your people, they're your people.
Hmm.
You know, I talk about celebrating things. The other day, I was over at my mom and dad's best friend's house, and the husband has Alzheimer's, and you could see his he's going downhill, and it's taking him rather quickly, or at least too quickly for my heart.
Right.
But I walked into that house the other day, and I said, "Hey, how's it going?" He's like, "Hey, Teen Bean, how are you? Remembered me
Wow.
like nothing." And he's like, "Hey, are you on the bike today?" And I said, "No, I bought the car because I'm coming straight from work." And he goes, "You need to get on it." This was the second time he's told me this. And the motorcycle I've only had for a couple of years now.
Right.
And he remembers it every time I go over there, but he also remembers to call me Teen Bean, which is something that most people don't call me, but he's always called me that. But the way we talk to each other, it's like, "Hey, so and so, how are you?" And he's like, "Hey, Teen Bean, how you doing?" So we've always done the same exact greeting.
Hmm.
But I thought to myself, that just, and I gave him a big hug. That just made me happy. Like that, I felt like I turned to his wife and I said, "Did you hear that?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I was excited, talking about celebrating. It was like that little moment for whatever it was, 5-10 seconds, but it really was for me worth celebrating. I came home and I told my dad, and I felt good about it. Maybe that's where we're doing it wrong. Maybe that's where you're not comfortable doing it because you're not doing it often
Yeah.
enough, maybe.
That could be. Yeah. I mean, that could be totally correct. I find that, something like that, what you just said, is those are winning moments
Oh,
because,
it broke my heart and made me happy all at the same time.
right. And it's funny where, you got to look kind of a little deeper into the psyche of all of us, right? That came out and like it was nothing. So
Yeah.
and uh, I know that as we get older, we're going to start losing things because I find myself forgetting way more. And again, I've taken a lot of bumps to the head, and and I'm young, and I know that my future is probably not the greatest, and hopefully I don't have CTE and, you know, I end up living under a bridge like a troll because I don't know where my
No.
house is. But it's winning small wins. I think small wins are important as we get older anyway, right? Like
Hmm.
it, life is hard enough for all of us, and in this day and age, even worse. We've talked about what's going on in the world, and
Right.
the economy is so shitty, and who knows if where we'll be in 6 months, if not a year. You know, I don't know if I'll be in the state much longer, just because I don't like it here on some degree, and I love it on the other. I have a love-hate relationship with the state. And I also want a simpler life. I just think that it would be nice to live in a place where it's a little more simple. But I also, like you, everything is here.
Hmm.
So it's difficult. And I've done it. I tried 2 years in Vegas, and every time I would come back, it just felt like, oh, I'm at home. I'm at home. And if I move far away, the odds of ever coming back become very difficult because
Yeah.
of money. And, you know, coming back to California is very difficult. I was lucky the first time. I don't think I'd be as lucky the second time. But I think that's where like I start thinking about the bigger things in life. Like, what do I need to celebrate next? Do I need to get out of the state and get a fresh start with new memories and new people, and see if the backside of my life is different? Or do
Hmm.
I fight the economy and fight all these things and stay because it's the only thing I know? It's just difficult.
I
And
don't I don't know. I don't know that if I left that I could get back. I don't think I could. Like unless,
Mhm,
I came back to my dad's house and started
correct.
yet again.
Mhm.
I don't think I could do it. So the thought of leaving and knowing the permanency of it is really scary. I
Yeah.
don't know. You can't celebrate birthdays if there's nobody around you to celebrate.
Yeah. But I mean, it's scary because, but it's also, to me, it's like, it was exciting leaving,
I
you
bet.
know, because it is, you have a chance to be a new person and not have to worry about certain, like, look, I was lucky that I left before and my son was 6 and my ex-wife let me, and other things, right?
Hmm.
Now, uh, not that there's not anything holding me here, but like my son's in his 20s, and he has a choice to leave or not, with me, or he has a choice to leave. He might leave me, and I don't have anything to look back on that way and go, don't go. So, it's difficult. There's things here that I love,
Hmm.
but there's also things here that it might be time to move on from. It's like I've been in California my whole life, with the exception of 2 years.
I get you.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think going forward, it's definitely the sky's the limit, but we're also coming to a point of age where, you know, you got to shit or get off the pot. What do I want to do? Um, it's the dating world here is difficult. And I think that, other states probably just as difficult, but people are different, you know? Uh, I'm gonna celebrate Thursday. I'm gonna get a big ass tattoo on my leg.
There you go.
Yeah, so that's gonna be my one present to myself. So I guess Thursday I'll be celebrating with the guy who does my tattoos
Hmm.
for many hours. I think it's gonna be another 5 to 6 hour job.
Damn.
Yeah, that it makes for a day. Let me tell
Yeah.
you. And like for me, I have a it's funny. I have an eye appointment at 8:45,
Mm.
and then my tattoo's at 11. So somewhere in there, I have to find time to eat because you've done small tattoos. When you do a long tattoo, for one, you want to eat because you want to have sustenance in you because it'll make you, having in pain will mess with your noggin. It'll make you want to.
The adrenaline. Excuse me, the adrenaline.
It'll make you want to, or you'll get sick. You'll get, or you'll get lightheaded. So usually I'll eat and then I go and buy like an energy drink and like gummy bears, something that that has a little bit of sugar in it that I can toss and like just kind of chew during it. But it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be my last one though. And I say that because
the last tattoo, I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't either, but I'm trying to tell myself. I'm trying to tell myself, this is the last one because, they're expensive. So I don't know.
They're very expensive.
Mostly when you get them the size I do.
Because my little one was $200 that I just got. What does a 5-hour tattoo run you?
About $1,300.
Fuck.
Yeah. But I also have very, very large legs. And so it's a very large tattoo. I get it basically from the cuff of my knee, so the backside where it bends, all the way to my ankle. So it's big. Like it's a very large tattoo. Yeah.
Yeah. And you have big calves.
And I have, Matter of fact, the guy who does my tattoos is like, he loves it. He walked in, he's like, holy shit, look at the size of that canvas. So he enjoys it. It's funny. The one that I have on my right leg, he took a bunch of pictures of. Well, he does tattoo conventions, right?
Oh,
so
really?
He has like he goes all over the place. Yeah. I think he's going to Idaho sometime in the summertime. So he does all these big ones. There's one out in Oxnard. He did one in San Diego. Well, he has a banner made, right, for his tattooing. My left or my right leg is actually on there. A picture of my right leg.
No way.
Yeah, I walked in. I was like, "Hey!" He goes, "Oh, it's a great tattoo." So I put it on there. I'm like, "Well, we're gonna do another one. Maybe I can get on the next flyer."
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So look, you got to celebrate a little bit. That's my way of celebrating. I'm gonna get myself a tattoo and enjoy being 54 and do my best to the following year go in and get carded saying that I want a senior discount because I want to get carded for the wrong reason. I want them to go, there's no way you're 55. There you go.
Here I am.
It's wild. Have you been in a BevMo lately?
Not too long ago.
Isn't it wild that they legally have to card you? Yeah. And I went in and I was like, come on. He goes, yeah, I don't want to. I know you're not. I know you're over 21. Like, really? This one next to me is 22. He's my son.
Yeah.
do the fucking math.
Right. But they can't assume.
No. And they have to because they scan it. They scan your ID.
They scan it.
Which is funny to me. Although I was in a supermarket and I bought a bottle of vodka and he didn't even ask. He's like, bleep. Here you go. You're 25.
Just keep it going on.
Yeah. He's like, I was like, yeah, thankfully. I go, no. He goes, I know you're over. Yeah. And then and my boy was with me and I actually said that. I go, he's my son. He's 22. He goes, yeah. I go, you can card him, but you can do the math. It was kind of funny. That's so fun. Celebrate. So, I don't know what this podcast is about. It's just us rambling about age and celebration, getting old. So
there's so much going on though. We're having a hard time figuring out what we should and shouldn't talk on.
Well, yeah, because look, even last week's, I'm sure got us heat with people. And look, I'm not going to censor myself, but I also don't want to make it's already hard enough them going on their social media or watching YouTube or it's everywhere. And I don't know if I want to be another source of just constant, battering of what's going on in this country. You're getting enough of it. And, and look, it's funny because I had someone talk to me one day and go, your show's a relationship show.
Oh, yeah?
And I went, I mean, it's really not. But yeah, we have talked about it a lot. Sure. And we're going to talk about it going forward. That's just what we do. And we talk about everything on there. And it just happens to be that, my birthday is this weekend and we can talk about that. This is just a show about everything. But I'm really trying not to bring people down with the shit that's already on their phone.
Yeah.
There's enough of that. And I'm going to continue to try to stay away from it. I think last week it just kind of boiled over. And I'm sure we'll talk about.
Kind of scary though.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about politics again. I guarantee it. And we're going to talk about love, and we're going to talk about, shitty things in life, and this is a revolving door of nonsense that we talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll do my best and to not bring you down. But it's going to happen.
Bring you down.
I
don't think we do that.
I don't think we do either, and at least I try not to. But yeah, is it going to happen? Fucking course it is. And we're going to talk about things that are going to piss people off. Yeah, probably. It's going to happen because we have opinions. I don't think
we do too badly.
Yeah, we have opinions, and it's an opinion show.
That's it.
So don't get it twisted. Hey, got the tagline in there, right there.
Right there, early. At the end.
Yeah. Check us out on all the social medias. We're on Facebook and Instagram. So come on there and follow us so you can see when all these crazy shows come out. Yep. And you can listen to us mostly, a lot of people on Spotify and Apple, because those are the biggest ones, but a lot of people on Chrome. So people are just listening to us everywhere. It's kind of interesting. Any last thing you want to say?
No, I think you should celebrate more. Have a good time. Spend time with the people that you love, because we don't know how much longer we're going to be here.
Cheers.
Yeah.
I agree. And if you have broken relationships with people,
fix them.
Fix them. I'm doing my best inch by inch now to fix broken relationships, friendships, talk to people that I haven't talked to in a while, and tell them that I care, even though things might not be the best situation between us.
Good job.
And that's all for this week. Time to eat. I'm starving. I have a headache.
Go do that.
I'm going to go get some really bad food for me. Maybe a big fat burger with bacon on it.
There you go.
All right. See you in a week. I'm Rob. That's Tina. And it's been fun. Talk to you later.
Bye. See ya.